Lord's Path to Planar Conquest Chapter 16, Dwarven Blacksmith. Satra took out 4 godheads and 6 priesthoods and put them on the table. Of course, Satra still has some remaining godheads and priesthoods, but he has to keep these for research. 4 godheads have 240 plane crystals, and 6 priesthoods have 600 plane crystals. A total of 840 plane crystals. Don't be surprised why **** has only 1 godhead, but can have multiple priesthoods, but in the end, the price of priesthood is more expensive than godhead. This is mainly because the rules contained in the priesthood are better and more complete. Although it is also a product of the rules, the main function of the godhead is to carry the props of the priesthood. The price gap between high-level godheads and priesthoods will be larger. Servius happily put away the materials, and then took out 840 plane crystals and handed them to Satra. From this transaction, she can earn 8 plane crystals, plus 40 spirit stone coins. P.S. Spirit stone coin is a currency jointly launched by the 7 kings of the void. The main reason is that the value of the plane crystal is too high, so a currency with a lower value is needed for small transactions. Spirit stone coins contain non-attribute spiritual power, and any race of any attribute can be used for cultivation. General exchange 1:100. You must know that her monthly salary is only crystallized from 5 planes, which is not bad in Void Central City. Satra's wild plane only produces 10 plane crystals in a month. The origin of the Kangri plane is a little more powerful, and it can produce 15 a month. Of course, the 2 planes will soon merge, and the plane crystals produced by the 2 planes will greatly increase. This fusion is 1 + 1 greater than 2. By the way, Satra bought some materials for making puppets here. Most of these materials are not very expensive, and the elemental essences with different properties are more expensive. Generally, as the level increases, the price of elemental essence increases tenfold, and the 3rd level ordinary elemental essence needs to be crystallized from 1 plane. Think about the previous 6th level earth element essence, it is worth 1,000 plane crystals. Of course, except for those rare special element essences, such as space, time, light, darkness, etc. Their prices are much more expensive than ordinary, gold, wood, water, fire, earth, wind and thunder, elemental essences. I bought some of the ordinary 1st to 3rd level elemental essence Satra, and some miscellaneous materials, and spent a total of more than 140 plane crystals. Speaking of creator, it is also a profession that burns money, and ordinary void lords can't learn it at all. After finishing the transaction, Servius happily and respectfully took Satra out of the trading area. Next, Satra is looking for a place to forge equipment. He got the scepter made of source iron from the **** King Seos on the plane of the sky. Satra wanted to reforge it and make it his own staff. Satra desperately needed a suitable staff to help him cast spells. Most was also leading the way, still amazed at the divine material that Satra had brought out earlier. From his point of view, this is definitely Satra's own. When Demon was in charge of the wilderness plane before, there must be no such thing, or he would have sold it for a better unit. Obviously, Satra absolutely masters the coordinates of a god's plane, and must have invaded the interior of the plane. After thinking about it for a while, Most was jealous of Satra's luck. But now, his life and death are already in the hands of Satra, so that he dare not have more ideas, lest he suffer. Ellipsis. Soon, Most took Satra to a blacksmith shop. On the way over, Most had already told Satra the origin of the blacksmith shop in front of him. This is a shop opened by a void moon level lord, and the blacksmith in it comes from the intermediate plane of the void lord, the fire dwarf plane. The name of the sign hanging on the blacksmith shop is also very straightforward, the best blacksmith shop. This name made Satra's face twitch slightly, and he couldn't help laughing. Seeing Satra's thoughts, Most embarrassedly said, "Master, don't think that the name is a bit unpleasant, but the equipment made by the blacksmith shop owner is definitely a fine product." Then Most shouted into it, "Blackbeard hammer, there is business coming, come out quickly." Immediately, a very rough voice came from inside, and answered in a loud voice. "Damn Most, you are here as soon as you hear this voice." There was a scolding voice from the store, and a bald-headed dwarf with a black beard came out, and his strength also reached the 4th level. Obviously, Most and he should know each other. When Blackbeard came out, he saw Satra next to him, looking at Most respectfully. He couldn't help but say, "Most, where did you deceive a fat sheep again? How much did you earn this time?" Although the dwarf is short, his voice is exceptionally loud. Satra understood it. Most had done a lot of deceitful deeds in Central City before, and even the blacksmith shop owner in front of him knew it. With a bit of embarrassment on Most's face, he said quickly, "You bastard, when have I ever lied to someone? Be careful when you speak, this is my master." When Kuroshu heard this, he was a little surprised. He knew what kind of person Most was, and he had dealt with him a lot before. It is absolutely impossible for a person like Most to take the initiative to recognize someone else as the master. This Void Lord is extremely cruel and cunning. There are not many people who have been deceived by him. Many Void Lords were deceived by him, and then died at his hands, and some people were even eaten by him. Although Central City prohibits private fights, if you are accidentally deceived, it is your own business. After all, where is the essence of the void? You can only blame yourself for being fooled. As for the people who died at the hands of Most, of course they were not killed in Canterlot. Unless Most wanted to die, he would never dare to kill people in the Central City. Every time he tricked people out of the Central Plane, and then started. The reason why Blackbeard is familiar with him is that Most often sells some equipment to him. Unexpectedly, such a guy was planted in the hands of this humble young man in front of him. Judging from his strength, he is also level 5, even if most is weaker than him, but he is of the same level, and he is an old asterisk who has been in the central city for many years. It should be possible to escape. Satra was not interested in learning about Most's scenery, past, nor what Kurobe was thinking. Boss Blackbeard, I heard that you can customize equipment here. You reading www.ukanshu.com. I wonder how good your equipment is. Originally, Blackbeard was still thinking about what method Satra used to make Most surrender. Hearing that Satra asked about the question of making equipment, he immediately returned to his senses. What he is most proud of is his level of blacksmithing, and he will never allow anyone to question it. Look at my signboard, and then go out and ask. It's within 100 miles of this central city. Who has my skills? Tell you, as long as you state your requirements, there is no equipment that I can't build. Satra didn't know how much he could believe this. After all, dwarves are notorious for talking big. The dwarf in front of him was quite honest, he only talked about the radius of 100 miles. If you meet others, you may say that the best blacksmith in the entire Canterlot. So, Boss Blackbeard, can you forge original iron? Original iron, you actually have sourced iron. Hurry up and take a look at me, I haven't seen a plain wonder for a long time. I deal with these poor secondary void lords every day, and the slightly better materials are all never seen. Satra didn't mind the tone of the dwarves, he knew that dwarves had this virtue. But Most, seeing the dwarf's words, said directly, you bastard, what are you talking about? Who is poor, and you let my master stand on the street? Oh, I almost forgot. Come in and talk. Having said that, he led the two of Satra into the room in front. As soon as I entered the house, a heat wave hit me. Inside the house was a large stove with a blazing flame. All kinds of weapons hang on the walls, swords, axes, and gauntlets and armor. There are several unfinished semi-finished weapons on the forging table. Several dwarves are forging equipment. New novels. 1. Guide to the He of the former female supporting role.